Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving our praises, our honor, and our glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Yahweh is the true and powerful mighty name of the word ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, or Ahaya. By Hashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai is the true and powerful mighty name of the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Yeshua, or Yeshaya. And the Rachakodash is the Holy Spirit, according to the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who I've learned the truth of the Bible from. And peace, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, to you believers and listeners out there that came back into the faith and obedience of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And much love and respect unto you, brothers. Pushing this gospel in sincerity and truth, risking your lives and freedom, now more so than ever. May Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai continue to bless you and your households. I'm the brother Yawan coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing, that's edifying. And before I start and get into this article, I just want to point out the 444 that's on this truck. On this image, on this truck, 4 represents mercy. I thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, especially going into the title, the days of trouble. Going into these blackouts. Okay, because if you think about it, it's one of the plagues that was in Egypt. Okay, the plague of darkness, and that saying, and the scriptures say he's gonna smite Egypt again with plagues. Okay, now it's not talking about ancient Egypt over there in Africa. It's okay, even though that was the Egypt that got hit with plagues before, but this Egypt that's gonna get hit this time is talking about America. Okay, because this place is spiritually Sodom, Egypt, Babylon. Okay, and that's just according to prophecy. Okay, and then with the that we're in the wintertime. That's a main concern amongst a lot of people, is these blackouts, okay? Because, the wintertime is like one of the worst times ever to have, something like this happen. To where, you're out without power. It means you're out without heat. And I remember the last time we had extreme cold weather. It caused, a lot of people that were on oxygen or, different type of machines, to help assist their lives, so to speak, they died. All right. But enough of my rambling. Let's get into this article. It's from KVUE.com. This ERCOT touts improvements to grid, but warns risk of blackouts is increasing. ERCOT CEO Pablo Vegas updated the board of directors and public about the state of the Texas power grid heading into the new year. Yeah, because I want to say it happened last year. I mean, not last year, the year before last. It was like January or February when Texas froze over. Okay, so this is Austin, Texas. The power grid faces an increasing risk of blackouts as power managers and regulators continue to build reliability. And ultimately, it just goes to show that the infrastructure, the grid, and all this, is done, man. All right, this just shows that we're at the end. This place is circling the drain. Okay, you didn't have problems like this bad, 5-10 years ago. Okay, back to the article. While we have increased risks that we have to manage, we are also well prepared as we have ever been to deal with those risks. And so both of those facts are true. Sometimes they can seem at odds with each other, but they're really two independent points that are both accurate and both reflect the state of where we are as we head into this winter season. Electric Reliability Council of Texas. That's the ERCOT acronym. President and CEO Pablo Vegas said in the board of directors meeting on Tuesday. ERCOT manages the power grid covering the majority of the state. Vegas presented a list of improvements to ERCOT power grid, including weatherization inspections, critical supply chain and infrastructure maps, new communication standards, scheduled maintenance periods, and new programs. We are in a good position as we as we have ever been to deal with the challenges that a winter season can bring. Chris Coleman, aircraft team meteorologist, said the anticipated warmer winter could still be volatile. The winter season, unlike summer, is is a very volatile, changeable pattern, and it can flip from 80 degrees to 15 degrees in a matter of 24 hours. You don't see those big swings in summer. The National Service website, and partial the reason why is because we're at the end, but also Esau is manipulating. Esau, the self-proclaimed white man, he's manipulating everything. He's spraying chemicals in the air. Everything's out of balance. Everything's out of whack, man. The National Weather Service website shows large temperature drops in the early 1900s happening within minutes. You always have to take each winter with the approach that an extreme event could occur. Coleman's presentation details how little precedence is set for conditions matching 2023. ERCOT started its winter weather inspections at the start of December. The inspections will run through February. Our inspection program is ahead pace to what is required from a compliance perspective. We have completed over blah, 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 blah. So, this is interesting though. This last paragraph here. Vegas also highlighted cybersecurity training exercises that took place this year with law enforcement agencies and energy regulators from both the federal and state level. Okay. So why would they throw that in there? Okay, because the talk of the flavor of the week, going into that movie Leave the World Behind. Cyber attacks is what brought down, it shut the lights off, man. Okay. Made, everything got shut down in the city. And, shit was it was bad. And that's what they're planning on doing. And you better hope that it doesn't happen in the wintertime, because wintertime is, full of harsh conditions. Okay, so yeah, they going through all this to try to prevent blackouts, but it's still inevitable to come, man. All right, let's jump into some scriptures. I'm gonna start with the book. I'll go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. I'm gonna start at verse 10. All right. Oops, it's lucky. Then it reads, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter." And who's the Lord's people? The Israelites, which consist of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Natives, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. You have the Israelite foreigners who are likened unto the speckled bird, who may look like the heathen nations, but their bloodline and lineage goes back onto Jacob by way of their fathers. All right? I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. I'm talking about here in America. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Okay, right. So like I said earlier, this land America is going to experience the same plagues that Egypt had went through. Okay, and one of those plagues is being the plagues of darkness, what they call modern day terms, blackouts. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall bring upon it. And that's right. Okay, this place is going to be utterly destroyed. And going back to verse 11, the Israelites that's going to get saved with his mighty hand and stretched out arm, which represents Yahushua, is the elect. Because 2/3 is going to be destroyed right here alongside Esau, Edom, and the rest of the heathens. Okay, that are over here in America. Because you're going to have some heathens in the other parts of the world that's going to, be left behind to, be the first fruits of employees in the kingdom of heaven. This is Exodus chapter 10 and verse 21. "And Yahweh said unto Moses, Stretch out thy hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt." And that's how bad that darkness was, man. It was that thick. Okay, to where you can feel it. They said that they lit a candle and they can barely see the flame in front of them. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days, but all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. Okay, and now, hey, those that's going to have light in their dwellings are going to be the elect. Okay? Or I want to say in their dwellings because, Salakia, we're going to have to be pilgrims during that time, moving around. Okay, you ain't going to be able to sit still in one place. But the elect of the nation of Israel, Lord willing, we're part of the numbers are going to be taken care of during their time. Okay? No new thing under the sun. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon to go more into depth of that darkness. It says Wisdom of Solomon 17 and verse 2. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nations, talking about the Egyptians oppressing the Israelites, they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there exiled from the eternal providence. And think about it, what it said in Exodus, like they stayed in one spot because it was so bad. So just imagine, they standing, sitting down. So like they standing, sitting down, laying down, probably in their own piss and shit. Man, bro. Sometimes you gotta, when you reading these scriptures, you gotta visualize, what what's playing out and what's going on. Verse 3, for while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. Okay, so you had demons fucking with them too in that darkness, man. That veil between the third and fourth dimension was, slightly lifted during that time period. Verse 4, for neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noise as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenance. So they was hallucinating too. They was hearing stuff, seeing, having visions, plaguing their mind. No power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw night. As for the illusions of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting in wisdom was reproved with disgrace. For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing serpents, they died for fear, denying that they saw the air, which could of no side be avoided. For wickedness condemned her own witness is very timorous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasting grievous things. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offer, and the expectation from within, being less, counted the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment. But they sleep in the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their heart failing them for a sudden fear, and not looked for came upon them. So then whosoever there fell down was straitly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars. So that's how that darkness, man. It felt like they was in a prison. They couldn't escape. 17. For whether he was a husbandman, a shepherd, or a laborer in the field, he was overtaken and endured the necessity which could not be avoided, for they were all bound with one chain of darkness, whether it were a whistling wind or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, or a pleasing fall of water running violently, or a terrible sound of stones cast down, or a running that cannot be seen of skipping beasts, or a roaring voice of most savage wild beasts, or a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. These things made them swoon for fear. Yeah, because they didn't know who was doing it, where it was coming from, and how close it was to them. For the whole world shone with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Only them over them only was spread in heavy light, an image of darkness, which should afterward like it received them, but yet they were unto themselves more grievous than the darkness. All right, and that's coming here to the shores of America, man. And I just wanted to point out that they was talking about making all these modifications and improvement to the grid when man, that's not going to do anything, man. Okay, this place is destined to fall, and it's going to fall, man. This is Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. All right, and the balm is a healing agent like Neosporin, something like that. That'll be called, considered balm. Okay, but nothing. You can give this place the best medicine in the world. You can give the cure for AIDS. It's still not going to help this place. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone to his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto the heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. All right? So, there's no healing this place. Only way to, pretty much escape this place if you're an Israelite is repenting and turning back unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Other than that, if you don't choose to go about it that way, hey, you're gonna be the one that's fuel for missiles, not me. So, Kahalam La, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Makakadash. My honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and peace, blessing, safety, and salutation to the hopeful elect, and to you believers and listeners out there. Shalom.